Okay, so thank you so much, all of you who joined the session today. So as I was telling you that as per your course outline, we have done almost we have covered everything except the reading part, that is skimming and scanning. We are going to do it. Okay, and the topics we have done so far, they are related to grammar, sentence, complex sentence, compound sentences, phrases, reported speech, model verbs with the help of a lot of exercises and online quizzes. We have done academic writing, thesis statement, descriptive writing, narrative writing, essay writing. And one video today I have uploaded on YouTube that is about writing, compare and contrast essay. So this will be also very helpful. I have uploaded it on YouTube and I will share the link today with all of you. Uh, and one thing that I thought to teach you, that is about skimming and scanning, the reading techniques, kinds of readings, as well as I will engage you today in the session in an online reading comprehension test that will give you an idea that how to utilize and how to use those techniques that you will be learning today in the session. Okay, apart from that, all of you, because that is why I'm recording this before your mid final semester exam, I will hold a session for you in which we will discuss about the examination pattern, in which we will also discuss about, now we will do some practice as well. I will make you practice the content that I will be giving you in the examination, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, as soon as the schedule for your final exam is announced, I will be holding online sessions for you, in which I will tell you about the examination procedures and the paper pattern and some other, exercises and some practices we will do online. So you also don't have to worry about it. Am I clear now? Does it make sense?
بس screen show كان على بداية أنا
Hello, who is this Adil? Please stop talking in Balochi. Okay, please speak in English in the session, all right? Okay, so today the topic I have, as I told you, that we will be doing reading. So let's begin. What do you understand by reading? What is reading? How will you define reading in your terms, like as per your understanding? Write in the chat box. Then we will, I will share my screen and we will talk about the types of readings. Yeah, who would like to answer? What is reading? Any idea? Do you think that reading is just, you are familiar with the words only? Reading is the way to build your mind. Ariba, thank you so much. This is such a good response. Okay. Acha, do you know sometimes we read, um, because we know how to read. Okay, we know how the words are written, we know the letters, we know the words, all right, but the comprehension is, is not there. We don't understand. Okay, we think that the reading is that we know how to read something. That's not the reading. Reading is a complex cognitive process of decoding symbols and drive meaning. Reading means understanding. If you read but you are not able to understand and read between the lines and not able to understand and infer the meaning and the main idea, okay, then you can't be claimed to be a good reader. You must have heard that the readers are the leaders. Okay, so let's talk about this. We will be discussing today, very quickly, the types of the readings, but I'll give you just an overview of it, and then we'll move to the most important two techniques that we use in reading process, that is skimming and scanning. All right. So we have different types of readings. Maybe in future you choose to become a teacher, so you should know that what grade level you are teaching to your students and how to develop the reading habits, reading skills. Basically, reading is a skill, how to develop as per the age group and the level of the people. All right. So today we are going to explore the types of readings. The first one, as you can see, is oral reading or reading aloud. Then we have silent reading, then intensive reading, extensive reading, and supplementary reading. So let's go ahead. Acha, oral reading or reading aloud is a skill to be cultivated in the early stages. Trains the pupil, to the students to link the spoken word with the printed symbol. All right. So, all of you must, when you just revisit your childhood, when you were in your early stages of learning, so you see the teachers always used to involve you in reading aloud. Reading aloud is so beneficial at the early stages when you are developing this skill, when you would like to you would like to learn the pronunciation of certain words, you would like to read it aloud because you would like to listen to it as well. All right. So the familiarity with the words, the understanding of the words, and as well as the pronunciation of the words and the language is due to, let me admit, okay, all right, is due to the your ability of reading aloud. Okay, so at early stages, it is preferred that the reading aloud is so helpful. I don't think so that now when you are preparing for your university examination, when you are reading a newspaper, do you read aloud, by the way? Write in the chat box. I want to feel that you are with me. Okay, Sumbul said that it is form of language processing. Excellent, yes. Reading is one of the most important skills, and in every test, it is a part of every test, TOEFL, IELTS, GAT, SAT, whatever, So it is one of the most important skills of every disciplines. Okay, um, let's see who has written what. Yes, I read. Okay, Sidra is saying that yes, I read aloud. Fine. So reading aloud sometimes connects you to the script or to the text, and you feel as if the words are alive.
Kusnitake yakko name take do name chalang.
All right, the one who is continuously speaking in.
Ada present lagi. Ah, cie bang. Ada just kan.
All right, I'm so sorry, I had to remove the student who was continuously speaking in Balochi. You know that your lectures are put on YouTube, so please be very, very considerate about it, okay? Because the lecture is being recorded. Okay, now next, go ahead. We have the next, silent reading. Okay, silent reading is regarded as most important aspect of reading, and it is encouraged as soon as children have acquired a certain amount of fluency. You see, so when we talk about the learning reading skills, that initially it is recommended that children should speak in read aloud, but gradually when you know that your reading skills are getting better, and after you have crossed your the early stages, and you are in your middle and you are in your higher secondary, all right, and when you get to read something, then silent reading is preferred. Silent reading is more inferential. Silent reading is more, it's like deeper. Okay, who is admitting? Okay, fine. So uh, let's go ahead. When you are reading a newspaper or a magazine, or when you are reading a novel, or when you are reading your university notes and the books, all right, you would read it silently because you have to make a connection with it. You have to understand it at what it is written. Library reading is also like the supplementary reading, but it is not done in the classroom under the supervision of an English teacher. It is done in the library. So you can say that when you go to library, you have a free hand to choose the book of your choice. You have the free hand to choose the supplementary material apart from your textbooks. All right, supplementary material that adds more information, that supplements your knowledge. Okay, if you have a subject about psychology and you have one book, you would like to know more about it, you would like to explore more about the subject, so you would go in the library and you will see that what other the literature, what other material is available on the certain topic, so you would go and read more to increase your knowledge. That is called supplementary reading. Okay. Now, extensive reading, extensive reading is very important. You see that normally it is observed that people or students, they never go for extensive reading. I mean, they are only focusing more on, they only stick to read their course material, their course books, and sometimes, they get tired of it because they think that it is a burden. They think that, it is not of their interest, even though that they have to read it and they have to study, as this is the part of their academic setting. But extensive reading has to play an important role in the development of your reading skills. What is extensive reading? Extensive reading is reading for pleasure. All right. I mean, for your interest purpose, I mean, when you want to relax yourself, when you want to enjoy yourself, you can read any humorous stories, any tales, any fiction, any novels, or the newspaper, or the magazines, or the interviews, anything that you are doing for pleasure, that you are doing, that you are reading just to have your leisure time productive. That is called extensive reading. Another part of extensive reading is that extensive reading doesn't include any assessment. So see, when you have a textbook, so the textbook has the reading comprehension questions and the vocabulary and a lot of exercises that come with that. Okay, so now that reading, when you are reading your textbooks and your text material, you are doing it for sake of your examination, for sake of your test, and for sake of the grading. But extensive reading is more pleasure. Extensive reading is more fun because you know that nobody is going to ask you that what did you understand, what did you learn, and whatever. And then, okay, there are three phases of reading: pre-reading, during the reading, and the post-reading. Okay, so these are some of the phrases: the pre-reading, while reading, and post-reading exercises. They are in the book, and this is the part of intensive reading. Okay, now, because I will give you, everybody, this is an important point to note down, that in your exam, a reading comprehension will come. All right. I will give you a passage, a long passage, which will be, accompanied by some MCQs and inferential questions that will come in your exam. So that is why you need to focus on how to develop the techniques for reading. And for that, we have two more important techniques that are called skimming and scanning, which I will, okay, which I will do and I will teach you in another PowerPoint presentation. But right now, there are few tips and the techniques for, how to read, what are the ways for a good reading. So we read at different speeds for different purposes. You would agree that everybody has a different choice. I mean, maybe you want to read comics, I want to read the personality development book, someone would like to read novels, someone would like to read the interviews, someone would like to read more of the sports articles. Okay, somebody is interested in reading about, you can say recipes. So, everybody is different and everybody is unique and they have their own preferences and choices that what to read. Okay. But when it comes to examination setting, you imagine that you want to appear in IELTS exam, you want to do your university paper. All right. So you may have, like you have to develop certain techniques because that the topic, the passage that will come, that will be unseen. Okay, I mean, from any source I could take the passage and the reading material and give it to you in the examination to check your reading comprehension. So because you have not seen this before, you haven't read it before, you have to read it in the examination in the specific time given, and as well as you have to do the question part, you have to attempt the MCQs in the time given in the examination. All right. So, what are some of the techniques for attempting and doing well and perform better in the reading comprehension part? So, we read at different speeds for different purposes of reading. Um, like first thing is focus. So when you are reading, you don't have to read everything with the same amount of care and attention. Sometimes you need to be able to read a text very quickly. And what is it called? We have the topic that to cover skimming and scanning. Okay, detailed reading, reading for memorization under 100 words per minute. All right, reading for learning 100 to 200 words per minute. All right, to slow down when the concepts are closer together. Okay, when the content is unfamiliar. So what happens that when you are reading something that is that the content you are not very familiar with, your reading speed would slow down. Okay, Afzal, he can't join again because once the setting is in the Zoom that once I have removed someone or the host removes cannot join again. And I just requested him not to speak in Balochi, but he kept speaking. So that is why please don't unmute your mics unnecessarily. When I ask you, then you can participate in the discussion. Okay. Now, detailed reading also, reading for comprehension 200 to 400 words per minute is very important. The essence of the most people's daily reading. Okay, so you see that how do you develop that speed? Okay, how do you develop that speed? Reading is speed. When you read more and more, if you are not habitual of reading, or especially if you don't do extensive reading, then you might not be so good at uh, reading comprehension, because when we talk about reading comprehension, it incorporates everything, understanding of the unfamiliar vocabulary with the help of the contextual clues. Okay, um, with when you read more, you get more vocabulary, you get to understand the more sentence structures. All right, so definitely you develop your understanding when you have more exposure to reading. But if you don't, then it will be difficult, you will not be able to acquire the certain speed. Okay. uh, Now, next. Okay, we are going to skip it because I am going to put it in the next slide. Okay, so we have talked about, right now we have talked about the kind of readings in which we talked about reading aloud, reading silently, silent reading, reading aloud. We talked about intensive reading, and we talked about extensive reading. Okay, now two more techniques which are important. These are skimming and scanning. So that skimming and scanning, I'm going to share my PowerPoint with you. Okay, two people are joining. Okay, please keep your mics muted. Adil is entering again. Okay. Please keep your mics on mute. All right. So, have you heard about skimming and scanning before? Do you know what does it mean? What are these two techniques? Anyone would like to talk about it? Would like to share? I would like to check your pre-knowledge before we move on. Yes, you can write in the chat box. Okay. Anyone would like to define and anyone would like to discuss? Skimming means skip an unnecessary knowledge. Ariba, very close. Yeah, you can say that. That when you are skimming, you have to focus more on the important details. All right. What is scanning, by the way?
Ma'am, skimming and scanning are
Mm-hmm.
reading technique that use repair eye movement and keyword to move quickly. Text the slightly different purpose, maybe.
Okay, all right. Good. This is good. So you already know about it. Fine. Anybody else? What is scanning, by the way? What do we look for when we are scanning? When you what information are you looking for when you are uh, skimming and then scanning? Is there any difference between skimming and scanning? Anybody? Is there any difference between skimming and scanning? Can we spot any difference?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the difference?
Ma'am, skimming is reading repeatedly in order to get a general overview of the
Mm,
material, and scanning is reading repeatedly in order to find specific facts.
okay, so scanning is to find specific facts, and skimming is
Yes.
to get the general idea. Good, very good. Oh, who was
Yes.
this? Ariba?
No, ma'am. Sambul.
Sumbul, I appreciate that. Brilliant, brilliant. All right. So
Thank you, ma'am.
as Sumbul has commented, already has spoken, and I could read some of the messages in the chat box by Ariba. They both are correct that the skimming and scanning techniques, these techniques we use for two major purposes. All right. So imagine that if you have been given a reading comprehension in the examination, so you have to read the questions first and then try to find out that what kind of question is it asking you for the specific information, is it asking you for the general idea, what is it asking you? All right, let's go ahead. So, these are two techniques. Like, if you want to improve your reading, so for that, you should improve and develop two techniques which are called skimming and scanning. What is skimming? Skimming is to read quickly to get general idea of a passage. You know that, for instance, that if you are appearing in TOEFL exam or IELTS exam, you are given a reading comprehension or a passage that has 30-minute time limit. Okay, so usually for your examination purposes, your activities are timed. You are given a particular time. All right. So during that time, if you are reading each and everything word to word, first of all, without looking at the questions, you might not be able to complete the task on time. You might not be able to answer it accurately. There may be a lot of, you can say, um, uh, trouble. There may be a lot of trouble. So, skimming technique helps you to read quickly to get the general idea of a passage. And how will you do that? What are the things that can help you to get the general idea? Okay, like skimming is for reading main ideas with the passage to get an overall impression of the content of a reading. So, what should be the first thing that you see? By the way, what should be the first thing that you should see when you are skimming? When you are skimming, what should be the first thing you should see? स्किमिंग में सबसे पहले आपको क्या देखना चाहिए? Okay, fine. So remember one thing, that first of all, look at the title. I mean, what is this passage all about? Okay, when we say a reading, so I mean any the whole the entire world is, you can say that this world is full of topics and subjects. All right, so maybe you get a passage about newspaper, you get a passage about internet or social media, or it's about hurricanes, or it's about catastrophes, or it's about politics, or it's about election, or it's about democracy, or it's about diseases, it's about coronavirus, anything. So you need to first see the title and then read the introduction of the first paragraph, that what it is all about. The first paragraph will tell you. And remember that read the first sentence of a paragraph, and the first sentence of a paragraph is called the topic sentence. So when you read the topic sentence of each paragraph, then you will get to see that basically that what component and what main part of this particular topic is discussed in this paragraph. All right. So this is these are this is very important for you to read each paragraph in their topic sentence. Read the title, what it is all about, and after that you will be able to formulate a general idea of a passage, that what is this passage all about. Now next, when skimming, don't read everything. Okay, I mean, if you are reading word to word everything twice thrice, then it will take time and you will not be able to complete the task within the time limit or the time that has been allocated to you. So don't read everything, but try to skip the text. Read the first and the last sentences of the paragraph. As I told you, that the first sentence is the topic sentence and the last sentence is the concluding sentence. So these two
Yes,
things
ma'am.
can help you to have an idea that what it is about and what is the author saying in it. Okay. Another thing is very important, that you first read the questions. I mean, when in examination, I will give you a reading comprehension. Okay, let's talk about examination point of view. And I give you reading comprehension, which has, it is a passage or it has 3 paragraphs or whatever, it is about anything. All right. And then there are 5 or 10 questions given in the end that you need to answer. All right. Or maybe these are multiple choice questions. So what you should do, you should, this is suggested. I mean, I'm not saying this is an ideal way or this is a technique that has been this is the technique, not the, this is not a skimming technique, but this is just a tip for all of you, that when you are doing the reading comprehension, you first read the question and then go back to the reading passage and move your eyes on the topic and see where is this information located which you are looking for about which the question is asked. Are you getting me? This can be time saving. This
Ma'am.
can help you, locate the, the main idea or the information which you are looking for. All right. And as I said that, initially who said, Sumbul said that it is like moving your eyes on the text and just give it just go through it and give it a view, to get the general idea. All right. So in the reading, you also have to mark and you also have to focus on the keywords. What are the keywords? And the keywords which are given in the question, go back to the passage and look for those keywords, and when you when you find those keywords, then read that line, then read those 2 3 lines to find out that what could be the answer, what is being asked. Okay. So this technique can help you. Read the introduction and the summary. I mean, if it is there, so you must read first paragraph, which is important. Okay, and then okay, where? Okay, and then what? Okay, read a few examples until you understand the concepts they are meant to illustrate. Okay, Nathan. Okay, main idea. Yes, thank you so much for your input. Okay, next. Okay, now getting the gist. What is the meaning of the word gist? Gist means the main idea. Okay, so what you should do, getting the gist, not stopping. Okay, I mean, you keep moving your eyes on the text, then first and last paragraph, then read the topic sentence of each paragraph. And there is one more suggestion, read fast. Read fast. Don't read so slowly, word to word. All right, what are, okay, now I have a question from you. What might be the challenges that you face or you may face when you are doing the reading comprehension? What is the biggest challenge that you encounter or that you might encounter while reading a passage that is unseen, that is new, that is very first time, that is not from your book, that is not that you haven't read it before, and it is first time you're seeing in your examination? Okay, what could be the challenges?
Ma'am, on that one time we are too much confused because
Mm-hmm.
because ma'am, when we read regularly. So it's not difficult for us, but we should read regularly the passages and like that one, this kinds of books.
All right,
So it
all right.
will helpful for us.
Right, right, right. All right, but see, I mean, you see that this is your English paper, all right, and I give you a passage about, I can give you a passage about anything. Okay, it may be about social media, it may be about Big Bang, like scientific topic. It can be about the the universal facts. It can be about plants. It can be about um, uh, politics or democracy or elections. All right. So when that passage comes in front of you and you are reading it, so in that passage, what will be the biggest challenge while reading? Because when you are reading, okay, do you think that you will be able to understand each and every word given in the passage?
No, ma'am.
No. So the
Because
challenge you might encounter can be related to vocabulary.
yes, ma'am. Because there is different vocabulary.
Exactly. So what is the vocab, Sidra? Right. So what is the solution?
Ma'am, we should learn a lot of vocabularies, and new vocabulary should be there because
Yeah, exactly,
that's why we
exactly.
can.
So I mean,
Yes.
and I mean, it is like you can say that there is no way to overcome this, because whatever the exam, whether it is your university exam, IELTS, TOEFL, any reading passages or comprehension tests that come, you will definitely encounter some new words.
Yes, ma'am.
When we read something, we have, if I ask you to do an exercise, that I give you a passage, I give you an article, and I ask you to read it and make two columns: known, unknown. All right. So when you are reading, you will get a lot of words which you already know. They are saved in your unconscious. You have been seeing them, you have been knowing them, you have been learning them since your childhood. Like if there is a word written which is want, 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 would, you know that, you know the meaning. All right. So what will you do? You will write in this column, you know this word. If there is a word written plant, you know this word. If there is a word written whatever. But on the other side, the words you don't know. Just imagine that there is a word in the passage which is written, which says camouflage. Camouflage. All right. So camouflage is a word, or there is a word, obliteration. All right. Or there is a word obnoxious. All right. Now, when you read those words and you try to understand that what does it mean, you are not familiar with these words, or maybe if you have seen somewhere, still you are not able to get an idea, you will write in the other column that these words you don't know. Okay. Now what is the
Okay.
solution? Still you can be good at reading comprehension. How? There is a technique. Okay. So I think that we have only 1 minute to end this meeting, because time is getting over. Then in the next, must join the second session for this, because in the next session I will be sharing you few more techniques. I will take you to the online test, all right, uh, to do it practically, to understand it practically, so that it can help you in your annual exam. All right. So right now the meeting is going to end in few seconds, so please join me at 1:30. What time? 1:30.
1:30.
Meanwhile, I will be able to save this video. So kindly join me at 1:30, everyone. And I am okay.